G'day lawnies, it's Matt Dorm from Lawn Porn. Get your lawn on. Welcome to Lawn Porn Live, out the middle of nowhere, a live stream about lawns and how to get a good one. Look, for the next 10 days, I'm stuck out in the middle of nowhere and I just want to catch up with the lawn community that we have at Lawn Porn and just have a general chat, just trying to keep our chins up in these times that are very difficult for all of us. So I hope you're having a good night. If someone can send me a message that they can see me and they can hear me and everything's working okay, I'm hoping that this works. G'day, Jacko. How you going? Uh, yeah, if someone could say, so obviously people can see me. I'm just making sure that people can hear me. I'll just keep going on until I do. I might just flick over back to the YouTube chat, and that way I can see what's going on with the chat. Sexy legs. Yeah, how you going? So if someone can let me know that they can hear me, that would be fantastic. Yeah, so I'm stuck out the middle of nowhere for 10 days, and I thought, bugger it, I'll bring the lappy up and try and do some live streams. So the normal time for them will be 8:30 p.m. on 8:30 p.m. South Australian time. I'm just doing it a little bit earlier tonight just to give it a try, give it a blast. The setup is very, very simple. I've got my laptop on top of my case that I brought up, which has got my clothes in it. No special cameras, no special mics, just all from the laptop. And I've got a very dark room. So I've brought a little portable light that hopefully the batteries last in it for a while. But yes, how is everybody tonight? Give us a message, and someone's like, "I love your." Oh, I don't know what they're loving. I love your G. Yeah, the boys. That's clever, actually. That's good. Mate, that's what I need. A bit of a laugh, a bit of a cheer up, and I'm sure everybody else does. If you've got any lawn questions, look, put them down, or you want to chat about lawn, just put it down, and that's what this page is all about. If you haven't subscribed before, get on to Lawn Porn Lawn Care Tips. Hit subscribe, hit the bell notification. You'll get notified when I drop a video. And, when you do that, you'll get notified when I drop a live vid. So, look, the production here is going to be very, 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 very simple, just so that, I can just chat away. And, I'm glad I've got it worked out, that I've got the messages on the screen at the same time, so you can see them. So there is a bit of a lag from what I see on the YouTube page to what comes up on the screen, but seems to be only about 20 or 30 seconds. So look, how's everybody doing? Let us know in the comments. You're finding the COVID stuff. Oh, thanks, mate. Subbed. That was the boys. I appreciate that. Yeah, how's everybody going? It's a real tough time, isn't it? It's are you getting more into your gardening because of it? I know a lot of people are. Look, some people, doing all sorts of things to keep them occupied. So gardening is a good way to go about it. That's probably why I'm a little bit stir crazy here, because, I really can't do any gardening, and the days are long, and, it's, yeah, all I can think about is getting back to the lawn. And even though, getting back to the lawn at home, it is the last part of autumn now. Things are starting to slow up, so I've sort of nicknamed my lawn the mud pie at the moment, and that's what I'll probably be stuck with right through winter. It'll get there slowly, but it's not going to be anything miraculous. G'day to Ben Datson. How you going, bloke? Love your work. Ben catches up with me quite a bit, and I really appreciate the messages of support, and just the random FaceTime message, FaceTime session. We just chat away, and we're, showing each other what we're up to, with our lawns or whatever the situation is. He's a really cool dude, fantastic supporter. Oh, hey Matt, wondering how the Renault ended up at your friend's Sir Walter last year. Any updates planned? Yeah, there will be. Where I am now, they're really close. I can actually, yeah, they're just really close, much more closer now. Look, they got busy. They've had some trouble with the irrigation system, so unfortunately, those bits that we installed didn't go too well, and lost some of it. But look, there's plans to when I do the irrigation at my place, we're going to do the irrigation at Stacey and Kenny's at the same time. Simply because their irrigation just isn't up to scratch, and that'll be a good little project. So Kenny and Stacey are going to help me with mine, and I'm going to help them with theirs, and we're just going to get it done. So that should be some good footage. And really, you have to sort your irrigation. You can have all the chemicals in the world going, and it's not going to do you any good unless you have a decent water supply going to it. All right, I'll go on to another question. Are you still looking after the tiff tuff at your old house? No, I'm not. Someone else is there. And speaking of which, I saw her today and said g'day. And she's like, yeah, it's looking good. Getting it mowed, it's all good. So, but no, I won't be going back there. That's not my place anymore. We've got some news from Ben. Took delivery of a 17-inch solid. Very nice, Ben, very nice. It was Ben's fault that I got a Mowmaster, so there you go. He'll like that. How do you get your lawn? This is a good question. How do you get your lawn down from 50 mil down to 20 mil without killing it? Right season, of course. Look, yeah, this is now not the season to do it, so I'm glad you put that in there. It is more or less a spring thing that you'll need to start, and it does depend on, are you talking about cooch, are you talking about buffalo, are you talking about kikuyu? But one of the quick ways to do it is when you hit spring, you do a complete renovation. Of course, if you're renovating buffalo, you can't mow that all the way to the ground, but you get all your thatch out of it and you leave some green leaves. Do your aerating, top dressing, and then when it starts growing back, you start cutting at that, that 20 mil level, and that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it, and it really depends on how much thatch that you've got, is that you start lowering the height gradually over a number of weeks. Now you may get some brown thatch coming through, and this is also a growing season thing because you do need your lawn to be actively growing. You do need to take the thatch out as you go. It may look brown at times, so you can do that with a thatch rake or a thatching machine. There's lots of different methods, but you cut it down slowly. Look, another method is if you're at 50 mil, boom, one cut at 20 mil and then dethatch it. It'll look a bit crappy for a while, but it will recover, and then you try and keep that 20 mil height. So there is a few different strategies to go by. So if you're sitting at 50 mil and you've got like a kikuyu or a cooch or a buffalo, and you want to do 20 mil, that's a next growing season thing that you should aim for. Start at your Renault. It's a few weeks of pain for a couple of seasons gain. All right, now the questions are coming in. G'day Bradley, and hey Matt, if you have an area of your lawn, this is from Daniel. Hey Matt, if you have an area of a lawn that is really affected by shading, is there anything you can do to anything you can apply or anything you can do to substitute for those UV rays? There's I'd have to check it. It's a there's a product called Pro-Western or something like that. I'll have to look it up for you. I think it's a Lawn Pride product that apparently will be good for lawns that are in shady areas. There might be an equivalent Amgro one, I'm not sure. It's supposedly good. Look, you could go Instagreen to get more heat and contact to the plant. But look, that can be a pretty messy option. And look, I think the difference is only slight. That's more of a greening and masking, a cosmetic sort of product. It will change the heat at your plant a little bit, but not a heck of a deal. So I'll Daniel Knight, I'll try and remember that, and I'll reply to it after this feed's done. So what's a good selective herbicide that doesn't harm Tiff-Tuff? Don't have any weeds at the moment, but just looking for when the time comes. Okay, so you will get some broadleaf weeds, even if your Tiff-Tuff is, say, really thick and in good condition, say. Growing a little bit taller for the season and that stops the sun getting to the ground and for weed germination. But look, as the season goes along, there will always be a couple of little areas where weeds will just get through. It just gets that little bit thin in a certain area for whatever reason. Weed seeds are sitting there ready to germinate, and nature finds a way, and the weeds find a way. The Tiff-Tuff isn't growing, the weeds are more active and able to grow, and they appear. So you need what's called a post-emergent herbicide. Bow and Arrow from Turf Culture is a good one. Clean Lawn by Amgrow is another good one. So anything that will be suitable for Santa Ana or Cooches will be suitable for Tiff-Tuff. And the good thing about Tiff-Tuff is that it won't get affected by that selective herbicide. So you've got to find a selective herbicide that's suitable. So for Tiff-Tuff, Bow and Arrow, go to toolroom.com.au. They have it in their website if you can't find it locally. A lot of the people that sell lawn porn will sell the Bow and Arrow and the Embargo, which is a pre-emergent herbicide for things like wintergrass, and during the summer seasons, summer grass and stuff like that. But if you can't find it, go online. Or just type bow and arrow herbicide in Google and you'll find it. But look, Toolroom are a great mob. We really support them. They get the orders out next day if it's on the day if it's done before 3 p.m. and the next day if it's done after 3 p.m. So weekdays, of course. So they're still going, and they're all over their COVID restrictions. They're very safe and everything like that. Hey Matt, how are you? Hey, thanks for asking, Aidan. Look, I've got to be honest. I'm a bit devastated that I'm here again. Not devastated in the case of I'm massively upset or anything like that, but it's a case of I'm torn away from the family. It's something that I have to do. And it's a bit lonely in the hotel room, although I've got a mozzie for company. I just got him. So yeah, and look, last night I've gone and spoken to both my daughters, and my daughter Heidi is really starting to understand now that Daddy's going away for a long time again. She misses her dad. She just wants to muck around with me and play with me and do stuff with me. And when I say do stuff, it's not like she used to be in a lot of the lawn porn videos because that's what she wanted to do. Well, she's not really interested in that now. She plays with iPads. She goes on a scooter. She wants to go outside. She's hanging to go to the playground, but she can't, obviously. And now she's wanting to do board games and stuff like that. And she's just being such a treasure. And she just doesn't get that Dad has to go away for work. After about 6 months ago, and the little chook, she remembers everything. I said, Dad doesn't have to go away anymore or do anything like that. Dad's just going to be Monday to Friday day shift, weekends off. I've got every weekend, blah blah blah. And she's like, you promised, and I'm like, now I'm breaking my promise, but I sort of can't help it. Yeah, it's heaps devastating. Yeah, well, thanks for asking. And look, this is why I'm doing this broadcast, just to keep my chin up. It gives me something to do as well, because there's not a heck of a lot going on here. Although, watching porn stars on 7 Mate, because we've got Queensland TV where I am, isn't too bad at all. That's a kind of a good show. Just the stuff that people bring into that. All right. David Shaw, the neighbour's kick, Kikuyu, is taking over the Santa Ana. Do I embrace the kick now? I'm not sure what you mean. Do you treat for it now? I would go for. You can use some stuff called Monument. It says it suppresses it, but it will eventually get rid of it. You need to use it 14 days apart, 3 times or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I'm just I've not actually used Monument myself yet, although I've got a bottle of it. I've used Tribute before, which is a similar thing, but I must admit it didn't really seem to knock around the couple of bits of Kikuyu that I had back in the old place at Whyalla. Maybe I didn't do a very good application. But look, there's options. Also spot treat glyphosate, but when you do that, have to be very careful not to hit the cooch, because that'll die as well. The cooch next to it, you always have a bit of collateral damage, so to speak. But check out those products. You can go to newturf.com.au, and if you look in the problem solver, hit weed, hit Kikuyu, there's some options there. I should get into nude mowing, should I? Good on you, Jacko. Cheers, mate. Killing nutgrass and cooch. Sorry, that was a question I sort of missed before. Nutgrass is pretty difficult, and I'm just going to look that up because I can't remember the stuff that you use. But when in doubt, I go to, or when I can't remember, which is quite a lot. Quite a lot of I forget about. Sorry, I'm just looking at websites here. It's just taking its time. There is a Paspalum nutgrass and clover weed killer from Angro. That's quite effective. You've also got Sedgehammer, which is quite effective, and that's stuff that you can get in the shops. If you look at New Turf website, New Turf, nuturf.com.au, and you go to. Sorry, I can't show you this on the screen. I really should have to try and work that out. There's a thing at the top of the screen there. Try problem solver. So you go to weed, and then you go to nutgrass. If they've got it here, nutgrass. There it is. Now the thing about nutgrass is that it's very hard. It's very hard to get rid of because of the way the leaf structure is. So it makes it a little bit difficult. Look, there you go, Monument and Sedgehammer as well. So I didn't know Monument got rid of it, but there you go. You just so that's some products that you can look at. For sure, and some all right. Hey Matt. Sorry, I've read that one. What should I do to keep Tiff Tough green in winter, Brisbane? Okay, grow a little bit longer, and keep your fertilisation up. The thing about my Tiff Tough over the winter, I sort of let it go for about 3 or 4 weeks, so I didn't bother fertilising, and I noticed the drop in condition. Now, I know that they say, Lawn Solutions Australia say it needs less fertiliser. I personally don't think it does. I think what they're really talking about there is how it goes into drought dormancy. So if it's all nice and green and it doesn't get water for a while, it'll just sort of lock in being green and sort of slow up and nearly stop growing. So I sort of think personally, that they're talking about that, because my last little bit of winter, and that's another thing. It was the last little bit of winter last year that noticed that the Tiff Tough sort of dropped in that condition but that could have been also the weather. Not so much that I dropped the fertilising. So but I really do feel that you just need to keep on fertilising. Look with stuff with a little bit of iron in it. Look, Charger is a nice little product for that, but please don't overuse it. Go low levels. You will get that little bit of growth, and the iron will green up the plant and also protect it against the winter ills. Start off winter as well with a good granular fertiliser, and just back that up with liquid treatments. You want to, and I'll be releasing my winter calendar soon, winter program soon, should I say. But really look at balanced fertilising and stuff that like Launch Plus and Root Builder that look after the root system during winter. You don't need as much fertiliser as it during growing season, but you need to keep it there. Need to keep the fertilising up to a certain extent. So, and look, things like, us lawnies, we love to mow. We mow. Leave it alone. In winter time, I'll go a winter time when it's not growing. It doesn't really need to be mowed, and I won't mow for 6 weeks. That's the time that you hit your shop or your repair shop or something, and do your maintenance to your equipment. It's a chance that you don't have to mow. You can attend to other things in life, get your equipment fixed. Fertilise, grow a bit longer, and realise that it doesn't need to be mowed all the time, and just leave it alone. Okay. All right. How's the flies up there? Not too bad. So far today was cool and raining, so I think that kept them away. Let's hope that stays. Proteus Swartman, you've used both. Can you give us the benefit of which one? The Protea was a lot like the Scott Bonner, and between the Protea and the Swartman, the Protea sat better. The Swartman is a little bit lighter. Obviously, the Swartman is a completely different design, and very versatile with the cartridges. So it depends on your budget and your needs. The cut from both were good. I hope that helps. Right. Hopefully all this goes away soon and we can see our families, especially you getting back with yours and everything you're doing at the moment. Well, thank you, Aidan. I appreciate that. Do you recommend the Swartman, Bailey Cooper? Interesting question. It's quite the rage on all the popular YouTubers, and I'm not really a popular YouTuber, have got those. And look, I think it's a good product. However, it's made to a price point, and the price point shows up when you get something like the MowMaster, which is I suppose true turf equipment. And I'm not bagging the Swartman by saying that. I'm just saying it's built to a price point. I think it's quite clever. I think also the results are okay with it. I am a bit worried about the longevity of a machine like that, and I'd be a bit worried about backup service, because I don't really know what that's like. I know there's a few people selling them, so I'm sure that they'd back that up. I think it's a decent machine, but it's built to a price point. It sits on the grass rather than sits. Yeah, it can be a little bit floaty. If you've got some areas that are a bit hilly or incline, you're going to struggle a little bit with that. But look, my lawns have always been pretty flat. I think it's very, very clever and very good for the domestic market. So not everybody is in that league of wanting to spend a few more thousand and getting a true turf machine, such as the MoMaster, and I understand that. Yeah, a lot of people are keen on them. And I think they're fairly well made. But as I'm going more into my lawn journey, I'm definitely seeing the difference of your Allets and your MoMasters. You're paying more dollars than that. Look, I think Allet are pretty keen to give us a go of the new Kensington, which is sort of like very similar. Well, it's cheaper than the Swordman, and has all the cartridges and everything else like that. That's coming to our shores in a couple of weeks, so that'll be a real interesting to see how that compares. I'm sure it's good. I met Austin Jarrett down at Glenelg one time, and I've met Dave Allett, and it's just a wonderful company, a wonderful history, and I had a lot of fun with that C24, but that's a $12,000 mower. That's something for tournament spaces, etc. Look, the Swordman, it is what it is. It's a domestic mower. It's not really suitable for commercial use. I think you would struggle with the longevity with it if you were really thrashing it. But look, for the if that's what people are keen on, and they're keen on a few cartridges, I think the Swordman does quite all right. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. All right. Bailey Cooper, do you recommend the Swordman? Well, I've sort of just spoken about that, or was that the question I read before? Hey Matt, I've noticed. Tony was saying the Monument and Tribute is good gear in our sporting fields. Yeah, and that's good. Thanks for that, Tony. Jackson, hey Matt, I've noticed recently getting lumps of dirt coming up. What's the culprit for that? Could be a number of things. This time of year, when you've got moisture in that, you've got the worms coming up, so you're getting worm castings. If you've got things like mole crickets, and some of the ants can get really busy this time of year as well. I've got a bit of a ant nest that I really should have taken care of before I came up here, but I didn't. I need to get some fipronil for that. There's a product at Globe Pest Solutions called Fit Pro for ants. That'll smash them. It's about $160 a bottle or something, but a bottle will last you forever. Check that out. And so there's many things that it is. If it's just some worm castings that you've got coming up, worms are kind of good. Just wash them down. Worms aerate your lawn, and when when it gets warmer again, you won't see those castings come up so much. So I tend to bear with them. Check out the Milwaukee Switch Tank backpack sprayer. Well, Ashley, thanks for that, and I might check that one out. Might contact them, see if they want to give us a lend or something. Yeah. I have seen pictures of it. It looks pretty neat. Some of that Milwaukee gear looks pretty neat, I got to say. Thanks, Bait and Bake. Great channel. Keep up the great work, mate. Well, thank you. Is this Swordman? Swordman are not heavy enough. MoMaster is the Rolls Royce mower. Yeah, I'd agree with you, Tony. Very much so. Hey, Harry, how you going? Okay, what time have I got? 29 minutes, 7 seconds. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry that I didn't give any notice about this show. I will be doing these shows at 8:30 p.m. If I'm available at that time, but I should be every night while I'm away, just to keep me sane, just to keep me entertained and keep you entertained. And look, chatting about lawns with my mates is what I like to do. Thank you very much for tuning in. 8:30 p.m. every night, and tune in, get your lawn on, and I'll try and keep it to half an hour, so you're not sitting here for hours chatting away with me, because I think that would be really boring. All right, thanks a lot, and as always, you've made my night. Couple of quick questions. Swarms of dragonflies buzzing over turf this morning, Brisbane area. Any harm with these little guys? No, they actually are beneficial for your lawn because they'll get stuck into some of the insects and everything. So, yeah, don't panic about dragonflies. How do you think about laying Tiff Tuff would go in autumn in Adelaide? Look, you can do it. You've got to keep the water up to it. It'll take a little bit longer to root in. It could take a month or something. I'd say it would rooted probably a little bit quicker than that because the rhizome activity in Tiff Tuff is just out of this world. You just got to not let it dry out. You can put roll out of any grass type during winter as well. You just got to not let it dry out, and then when it starts growing again, that's when it will attach to the ground proper. Okay. Have a ripper night's sleep, Ben Datson, thank you. Take care of yourself, mate. Tony Payne, thank you. David Shaw, cheers, Matt. Take care, Matt from Jackson. Thanks, Todd Cece, I think that is. Thanks, Matt. All right, catch you later. Get your lawn on, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. See you all.